Hello, this is Andy from WCC here with Stephen Lee, who just topped 8 with fully gold Paladins at the Bushiroad World Finals for Premium. Stephen included some very spicy choices into his deck. Firstly, why did you decide to bring golds?
Honestly, I had, a love for Corrin. So when the set first dropped, I just went out and bought all the Corrins, and then I was just like, I'll just buy all the Ezzos too. So I had NLK, and then I had Golds, and I thought most people would be playing NLK because I personally think it's the best deck in the format, but I wanted to have a little bit of fun, so I picked Gold Paladin. Skillless deck, pretty mindless. And yeah, let's get into the deck profile.
Yep, let's go. So, firstly, starting with Great Freeze.
Alright, so obviously, you play 4 V Incandescent Line Ezzos. You guys like my rainbow rares, This guy, his effect is pretty much if you have a Bowmains on your rearguard or vanguard and Gareth, then you can soul blast a Criff from your soul, and then you can superior ride him from hand, and if your opponent is grade 2 or less, you get minus drive 1, and on attack you can choose a card from your hand and call it. So you may choose, so it's not mandatory. So that effect kicks in with stuff like with Vivian, getting the on place from hand, getting the call, or Sagamore getting the call by soul blasting and drawing, or Dindrin. So those guys are like the main combo pieces with Ezzle. Next, I played 3 Sagamore. I didn't opt to play 4 because I have 1 spicy tech in here. But Sagamore is actually one of the most broken cards in Gold Paladin. On place, Soul Blast 1, draw 1, and then you can you call a card from your hand to rearguard circle. So this guy just keeps your momentum going by applying for additional pressure while keeping you while giving you hand advantage. And then my spicy tech is a 1-of Ravenhair Ezzle. I chose to play Ravenhair Ezzle as like an out to No Life King, and a lot of other decks that have really high hand power, because when you ultimate break ride, whatever it is, then break 5 ride Ravenhair, I think half the cards, or even less than half the cards in their hand are probably usable. So pretty much they're just eating everything. It's even better if you can just ride him and stride into someone like Helios, because he only allows for 1s while Helios prevents 1s or higher. So it's kind of like a crazy guard restrict, and if you have Helios to pump himself, he hits for like 47s, and you pretty much G-guard only. Another thing that's cool to know about Ravenhair Ezzle is that he prevents protects. So they can only guard with grade 1s, since protect does not have a grade. You can't guard with protect, which is pretty big against like NLK, right? So that's all for the grade 3s. I ran 8. And then for the grade 2s, obviously the first one and the MVP of the entire deck is Bowmains. So Bowmain's skill is pretty much when placed, Vanguard Rearguard from hand, you can discard 1 card, search your deck for his Knight of Superior Skills, I believe? No, Knight of Elegant Skills, Gareth. And pretty much he's the one that makes everything combo together and gives you the superior ride with Criff, which I'll talk about later on. His other skill is just makes him hits numbers when he's placed due to a card's effect. He gets plus 3k, so he goes from a 9k to a 12k, making magic numbers against those other protect or 12k clans. Next, I want to talk about Wonder Ezzle, or what I like to call him is Tarna. He's the carbon copy of the Gold Paladin clone Tarna, where they allow you to superior ride Ezzle and over again, or Alfred over and over again. I think Wonder Ezzle is superiorly better just because it applies pressure by giving additional Excel circles, and the fact that you're a clan that calls and superior calls all the time, it's just insane. Opening up Bowmains and Wonder Ezzle pretty much guarantees you to win. And if you go first, it's almost pretty much done. Like the win rate is maybe like 90%. Next, I played 3 Henrius. So this guy, when you look at him on paper, he's just the worst Vivian. However, the only one of his most redeeming skills, or part of his effect, which is When placed, GB1, counterblast 1, soul blast 1. Check the top 3 cards of your deck. Choose one, call it, and then put the rest at the bottom. If you have a Vanguard or Gurgit in his name, he gets +3, and the card gets +3. When you look at him, he has a GB1 restriction. So you might be comparing him towards Vivian. However, I think he's strictly better because if you do Superior Ride, he's basically Vivian, but he can be called from anywhere. So Vivian's restriction is pretty much placed from hand, while he can be comboed from anywhere. So if you use him from Glorious Reigning to Heavenly Law or Mithril Ezo, you can just get the +1 as well from this. So I think it's very notable that you take this into account, that he's one of the better choices for multi-attack and applying pressure in mid-game to late game. And then my next spicy tech is Bobo. I only played 2 Bobo. I kind of opted to play 3, and I kind of wanted to opt to play 3 rather than 2 and taking out 1 Henrius, but I felt that Bobo wasn't really that needed. However, if you are playing against No Life King and they do damage deny you, or you're playing against Gize and they do damage deny you, you do need that extra kick just to be able to use Glorious Reigning or Heavenly Law. This also works well against like Hanali if they drop it early. One of the games I played in Swiss was against a very famous player from PPG, Kevin Ajolt. He dropped Hanali very early, and then I played Bobo, and it gave me 2 extra additional attacks to, you know, push it forward. So I think Bobo is it was a pick for against the meta, because I thought everyone was mostly going to be playing No Life King. That's also one of the reasons why I did not play Vivian. I took into account that I was just going to get damage denied grade 2 either way, so I thought it'd be better just pick Henrius and play Bobo, because Bobo just gives the extra push. Next, going into grade 1s, I played 4 Stride Fodder. You know, self-explanatory. This guy he just needed to stride. It's very hard to stride in this deck if you keep throwing down every single card in your hand to try to apply pressure. The purpose of this deck straight up was just to finish them off as fast as possible. Like, that's how this deck rolls, and you know, the stride fodder is 100% needed just because it's so hard to stride, and plus one of the main win cons of this deck is, believe it or not, just Ultima. Like, even though it's really hard to achieve, that's like your best win con. Next, I play 4 Dindrain. Dindrain straight up just combos with Ezel. If you have a Dindrain and you Superior Road Ezel, on swing you can just use Ezel's effect, call Dindrain, Soul Blast 1, draw a card. You have like an insane amount of soul just because you Superior Road. Another combo you can do with Dindrain is like, you know, call Sagamore effect, call Dindrain, you just basically +2, right? And if you're getting damage denied and you only have like what, 1 counterblast to work with, she's also an unflipper. Do keep in mind that she does not get the +3 when you choose to draw. She only gets the +3 when you choose to unflip. But nevertheless, it's a really good card. Next, for the Superior Ride, I only played 2 Gareth. Most people played like 3 or 4. I opted to play 2 because I didn't really want to see him, and the only way I wanted to see him was draw Bowmains, to be honest. And if I drew Bowmains, then I pretty much have Gareth 100%, just ditch any random card from my hand. I didn't really use this effect for kind of boss 1 plus 10k a lot, because as I said before, I usually get damage denied. They didn't really want to feed me too much damage because they didn't want to get pressured too hard. But I felt that 2 Gareth is at the most minimum you can play. Honestly, I would want to play him at 1, but there are games where I had to ride him, and you know, if you ride him, then you have that 1 chance if you do take damage, you know, you damage check the Gareth. But 2 is good enough just to Superior Ride, because Bowmains just switches him from deck, so you don't really need any more. And another spicy tech I played was Haugen. This guy is pretty much the turn 2 fake pressure. Honestly, his effect is like when he attacks on Vanguard or Rearguard, and it hits. When your Vanguard hits, you can check the top card of your deck, and if it's grade equal to or lower than your Vanguard, you can call it. honestly, this guy is just for my turn. If I lose a die roll and I go second, I can ride him, swing, and then they choose to guard or they just pretty much eat it. Hope to God I don't hit another grade 1 or like another +1 off the top of my deck. More than most of the time, I actually never hit it, but if I do get a trigger, you know, I'll still take it. Like a +1's a +1. Don't really care. You're trying to rush them down as fast as possible, so you would take any single card you possibly get early game. And then going on to triggers, I played 5 crit. I felt that 5 crit was a pretty good number because I didn't really want to speed the game up too much. Even though my deck was pretty fast, like how Gold Paladin inherently is, I wanted to try to slow it down because I do play Raven-haired. So I opted to play a different trigger to compensate for Raven-haired. So the crit is nice, and the only time I actually think the crit was bad for me is if I accidentally critted them, and then they take an extra damage, which resulted in a damage trigger, and that damage trigger would just ruin my entire turn. So for that purpose, I played 3 fronts. Now this is not the most consistent choice, and I know a lot of people don't play front, and if you do play front, you probably want to play more than 3. I played 3 just for the matchups like Gize or like NOK to make sure the damage, you know, sticks, or the damage from my board like sticks. Like I said before, I use these fronts to compensate for the Raven-hair turn, because I found that was like one of the most promising finishers in this deck. And then next, you have to play 4 draw PGs. I can't stress this enough. This card is way too valuable in premium, especially for Ezel. Having cards in your hand to continuously apply pressure is way too valuable. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. You could, like, another cool thing you could do is if you G-guard into Slay Me Flare, you know, get the G-guard or get the PG, and you can guard like stupid things like Zoa Antlion or like Zoa Rhino, stuff like that. You can do that with like a regular PG too, but I feel that the draw PGs add more value because it is a draw trigger, you know. If you do damage check it, it's very valuable. Of course, you play the standard 4 heals. Self-explanatory, you know, heals are great. If you have 2 heals by the time you Superior Ride, and you pretty much just ultimate stride on their butt. And Cancer card, Cancer starter, Criff. Basically his effect is what allows you to Superior Ride turn 2. If you have a Vanguard with Bowmains in his name and you have a Gareth in your Gareth on your rear guard, suck them all up into your soul and ride your boy Ezel here. So you pretty much get to grade 3 by the time they are on grade 1, and then you can just do a lot of more disgusting combos. If you did open up Wonder Ezel, you know, straight up make more Excel circles. There was a game in Swiss where I made literally 3 Excel circles right before they even hit grade 2. Like, can you believe how insane that is? Like, they're pretty much just eating everything, right? Because everything you have is +10, and you just make these insane combos. Getting on to the stride zone, played 4 Helios. I played Helios just for the straight up damage deny. He's a good first stride, you get that quad check. However, his only demerit is pretty much Unite. So you do have to commit 2 cards from your hand to drive check an extra once. So, you know, it depends how valuable your cards in your hand are and how valuable that one extra drive check is. But this guy is basically the card you use to scale in the game. And you use to scale it with this card right here, Heavenly Law Gurgit. Basically his effect is like, for every face-up card in your face-up Gurgit in your G zone, you get +2k to your whole field continuously for the turn. So this guy is basically your power push, or you know, you can do it early game too. That's pretty cool. You just will have +2, and then you get the extra attack because his effect is on attack Unite. Check top 7, call a card. That just gives you an extra attack early game if you want to stride into Heavenly Law. Next card in my stride zone is 2 Mythra Ezels. So Mythra Ezel's effect is pretty much just against Link Joker if anyone really decided to play Link Joker at the event. It's also pretty good early pressure if you want to. Sometimes what I would do is play Bobo, get that 1 damage, and then Mithril Ezo, so you get a big ass power column. So you keep the pressure going, and you also can have that +1. Yeah, and that's just pretty much Mithril Ezo. And then your finisher, or one of your finishers, is Glorious Raining. So this guy is Unite, counterblast 1 on attack, flip a copy of himself face up, and then for every card, check top 7 for every card. Put 2 cards from your field to the bottom, and then check top 7 and pretty much call X amount for X amount face up cards in your G zone. So this guy could give you like a whole brand new field if you're like mid game, and you can just straight up attacking them like maybe 11, 12 times, 14 times a turn, which is insane, right? Depends how well you opened up with Wonder Ezel and gain those Excel circles. A spicy tech my friend told me to play is Campbell. This guy, he's just like a regular on hit. If he hits, check top 5 cards of your deck and call the card. That's it, and he gets +2k. So this guy is just, if you have no damage and you believe that your Vanguard is gonna hit, then you can do some more extra attacks. The only thing I don't like is that it has to hit, so they have a chance of getting a damage trigger, and then whatever you call is just like, if you don't put it on the Excel circle, it might just be dead, to be honest. Like, that happened to me once, and I was just like, oh my god, this card kind of sucks, but it has its merits. You can call cards like Dindrain off this and just get a +1, right? And then your straight up finisher, Ultima here. I assume you guys all know what Ultima does by now, but the fact that you can stack crits into your front row and you have multiple attacks with Excel makes Ultima like one of the craziest finishers with Gold Paladin as Excel. So this card here is like the best finisher you could possibly hope for. Now getting on to G-Guards. I played this trashy ass G-Guard, doesn't really do much. Just gets +5. Honestly, like, it just guards for the same amount as a heal trigger, but the condition is that you have to have a grade 2 or more rear guards, yeah. But, I would just use this over triple Slay Me Flare, because I only play 2 Slay Me Flares. You need to play at least 2 for the Gridora matchup. Just in case you need to guard that stupid Zoa Antlion combo. Yeah, and then the last G-Guard I play is Elise. Her effect is pretty much, Carablast 1, GB 1. She's a G-Guard from your G-Zone and turn it face up. Check top 2, call 1 the Guardian Circle. At the end of the battle that the attack did not pass, you can just put the Guardian to, or the rear guard to your drop zone, or to your rear guard circle, and put the rest of the cards on the bottom of the deck. This card is pretty much to turbo out your G zone for Glorious Raining or even Ultima, but it is +1. And that pretty much concludes my entire deck profile of Gold Paladin for Worlds.
Alright, thank you, Steven. So, now that Worlds has finished and the ban list is out, what do you think is going to happen in Premium?
Gold Paladin or bust, man. I was talking to one of my friends here, Kevin Cho, and he was saying Gold Paladin, you have to compete with Gold Paladin or else you're not going to make it in the meta. The Gold Paladin is probably one of the sackiest and strongest deck before the ban list, and now it's probably even going to be even better because it just took out NOK. People might actually opt to take out Bobo now and just actually straight up play more pressure like Vivian. But I think Bobo might stay in the meta just for the Gize matchup. Gize is probably going to start running around even more now because NOK was one of its hard counters. And yeah.
Alright, lastly, any shoutouts?
Shoutouts to my boys back home in Toronto. You guys know who you are. David at Pizzarama, helped me out with building this list right before Worlds because we didn't know what the hell we were doing. Shout out to my boy Gabe for sending me some of these SPs. And that's pretty much it.
Alright, thank you, Steven. Congratulations on your top 8 finish, and hopefully we'll see you next year.